Joining us now is the host of How American Are You? And senior lecturer of African American Studies at the University of Maryland, Dr. Jason Nichols. Dr. Nichols, welcome to the show. Appreciate your time. So I'm not sure I even actually understand what the progressives' issue is with the bill. It's clear that Supreme Court justices have become targets and subjects of enormous animosity. Why shouldn't they get the same protection as other senior members of the government?
Well, first of all, let me be clear, and thank you for having me, Dan. I'm not against protection for Supreme Court justices and their families, and I do believe that they need to be free to interpret the law without the burden of intimidation. But this bill should include protection for all federal judges and their families. As you stated earlier, there have been threats against judges at all levels that have risen. I believe a Wisconsin state judge was killed this year. In 2020, Judge Esther Salas's son was killed by an attorney that sought revenge against her. But I think you also have to understand Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's argument. And it sends a message that when we haven't found ways to keep our healthcare providers safe, or shoppers at a grocery store safe, or secure our schools, but when the most powerful among us, and it arguably the Supreme Court is the most powerful position because it's not temporary, the most powerful among us get threatened, the federal government springs into action to protect the powerful, but not to protect the people on Main Street. And this is a message that the government will move very quickly to protect itself, but not to protect everyday Americans like you and me. And so I think she's making an important point about how the message that this sends. We had 10 people who died while they were just trying to shop at a grocery store. And then one person got a threat. And by the way, they can get more protection if they ask for it. And, you know, as you said, with other senior members of government, if there is a threat assessment that is made that shows that they are under threat and their family members are under threat, they can get that protection. We still sprung into action to protect powerful people, but not everyday people.
Okay, so look, protecting everyday people is a terrific soundbite. I get it. But are everyday people having potential assassins show up outside their homes? And I'm still not clear why Supreme Court justices shouldn't get the same protection as other senior members of the government. It is different when you're a member of the government. Our government is responsible for protecting our senior government officials. It's why we have Secret Service for the president. It's why the vice president has Secret Service. It's why senior cabinet officials. And as you point out, these are very influential, powerful people who are now clearly targets. So to just say, well,
Sure.
you know, yes, I support it, but it really has to apply to every ordinary people, that's basically a way of saying, I don't support it because I want to make sure it doesn't happen.
No, it's not, Dan. And as a matter of fact, as I stated, these Supreme Court justices do get protection. It's not as though that they don't get protection. This is expanding the amount of protection they get to their families, right, and making sure that it is, you know, expanded. But they already do get protection, right, 24 hours, you know, to protect them. So the idea that they don't get protection is actually untrue. No. Now, when we look at that, as you and I actually agree on a lot of this, and I'm kind of surprised that we do, that all federal judges should get this protection.
Look, that's incredibly important to me. Look, I've said this before. I had Esther Salas on the show. I think it's a very important point about the threat to federal judges around this country. But I'm also able to say, I support this bill. If I were a member of Congress, I would have voted for it. And then I would say, I would like to propose something separate with regard to the rest of the federal judges. I certainly wouldn't have voted against it. It makes me wonder, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, do you think that a lot of these votes were really just show votes? That they knew it was going to pass, and so they just voted no to show some sort of, you know, rebellion and be able to tell their folks, you know, we fought for the little guy here, even though they knew it was a worthless vote?
Well, I think you and I both know how government works, and we know that I don't think anyone is against protection for Supreme Court justices and keeping their families safe. Sure. So I agree that probably they knew that this was going to pass, that these people were going to be, you know, made safer, and they did want to cast a protest vote. And I don't see anything wrong with that, to say that this is a piece of legislation that should have been expanded to more people.
Sends a bad message, I think. I
think it sends the right message, particularly when you know that those people are going to get the protection that they need.
All right.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say we'll leave. I was going to give you the final word. So you get the final word. Dr. Nichols, thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.